session on experiencing being a detached observer, and I would like to invite our BK brother Dev Lingatevaru, who is a Raj Yogi for the last 32 years. He started his spiritual path with the Brahma Kumaris during his young student life in India. He has not only learned the art of meditation, but also makes it easy for others to learn and experience. He teaches and facilitates workshops in positive thinking, changing anger to peace, managing stress, and many other self-development classes. By profession, Brother Dev is actually a software engineer working at one of the leading financial institutions in Boston in US. Born and raised in Bangalore, Dave has a passion to bring positive energy into the lives of many and make the community value-based. Currently, Brother Dave serves as a center coordinator in Boston, and also he's the member of the national coordinating team in the USA. So over to you, brother. We're really looking forward to this masterclass, and we wish to learn and experience from your sharing and teachings. Over to you.
Thank you, Sister Harpreet. Om Shanti, everyone, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I believe most of you are in India. And actually, I'm also in India. I came here almost 2 weeks ago. And it's really a wonderful opportunity to share with PKs because we can just be who we are. I don't have to change the way I speak because you all understand Gyan as it is. So as Sister introduced, I came to Baba's or this spiritual path when I was actually a teenager here in Bangalore. It's not that I was looking for something spiritual at that time, but as Brahma would have it, as we say, perhaps it was my part. So I came in 1991 through friends. None of my family members are in this spiritual path. They're very cooperative. They all have taken the knowledge and they're quite cooperative with me, but completely in it, it's just me. So, it's been more than 32 years. I spent first 10 plus years here in India, completing my studies and doing job for a few years. And then opportunity came for me to go abroad. Again, that was not something that I was looking for because I had decided after my undergrad that I'm going to just work and do Baba's service here. I was not so interested or keen in going outside of India and establishing myself there, studies, masters, all of those things. But, things happened in such a way that I traveled and there I went, of course, on my job. And then, my life continued there as a BK. And I must say, it's almost like half of my life I spent there. I'm now, I went in 2000 and it's now 24. And it's really a wonderful journey that, I have become more of a BK that in US than in here, meaning to say, I became more mature and more, involved and more faith, all of these things. When, as I continued my journey in the US. So I have grown a lot being there. I started to live in the center starting from 2003. And, living in a center brings you a whole different perspective to your spiritual path. As Baba says, sometimes it's not like going to your auntie's home. Uh, but at the same time, it is a way to actually go on a fast track, because you get to witness, see, experience, do many things that one can't necessarily do else, in its own way elsewhere. I do work, as it was mentioned, and but really, my real passion and real work is this: exploring Baba's knowledge, experimenting with it, and helping others just by sharing what I have learned and my experience through my experiences. I'm fortunate enough that when I came to this knowledge, I was able to meet Dadi Pushpa, who was actually instrumental in establishing many centers in the South. I was fortunate enough to meet Dadi Chandramani, Hriday Pushpa's sister. And of course, many of you have met that Janki, Prakashmani Dadi, and many more. All of those definitely I have. And I must also say I'm very fortunate that now, under the sustenance, or this path is quite colored by sustenance of Mohini Didi, who is in New York. Ever since I went to the US, I have been in quite close connection and the sustenance and sharings and, suggestions, advice, so many things, and even service together. So it's really a wonderful opportunity to actually be sustained by those who are sustained by Brahma Baba, because, I didn't see Brahma Baba, so it's good to see somebody who has seen and then take the fragrance from them and learn from them, or, be under their guidance in many ways. So that's about myself. And coming to the topic, this is something that I like a lot. This topic in Hindi, it is Sati and Sakshi, or in English we say being a detached observer and a companion. So I want to ask you a question. I hope we can make it a bit of an interactive session. And my question to you is, I assume some of you are quite some time in this path. Some of you may be new. Either way, if I were to ask you, is it easy to remember Baba, or is it easy to remember yourself as a soul? What would you say? Anyone? Baba says many times, be soul conscious and remember me. Yeah? Okay, Sister Aki is saying, Sister Girja is saying, easy to remember Baba. Why so? Why not easy to remember the self as a soul? Yeah, in devotion, for example, right? People remember God. They don't necessarily remember themselves as gods. They may believe that they're God's children. They will believe, or they perhaps, but there is no awareness. There is no consciousness that I'm a soul, and so I remember God. Okay, looking out. So, yeah, you're right. It's easy to remember Baba, but there is always a but, right? So I was sharing that, is it, in bhakti, in devotion, people remember God, but they're remembering God, yes, many times it is pure, which is out of pure bhavana, which is very nice. They really have passion, bhavana for Him, for their desired deity. But then many times it's also based on a need. And so the need comes more than actually God. So, for example, it could be, God help me in, helping my child, God help me in going through the situation. So they're actually not remembering God. They're actually remembering the situation, person, event, whatnot. So you can see that, remembering God based on something that they're going through. Personally, I wouldn't call it as a, true remembrance or remembrance with love. It may be, right? Yes, you're right. It's no consciousness of the soul because they're remembering out of body consciousness. So if you were to, second question is, you all did Amrit Vela now, 4 to 4:45. If I were to just ask this, all right, remembering Baba is easy, but you know that um, remembering the self as a soul is difficult. But the equation in Raj Yoga is that consider yourself to be a soul and remember me, remember Baba. So how long do you spend in the span of 45 minutes? How long do you spend in remembering yourself as a soul? Or do you directly remember Baba? So something to think about, yeah? How long we spend in considering yourself to be a soul. Personally, for myself, that's the longest time. It could be on 20 minutes, just becoming soul conscious. Because once we are soul conscious, then it is, it's almost like, becoming soul conscious is actually getting me out of this house and be in the sunlight. Once I'm in the sunlight, it's just easy. Sunlight falls on me. So becoming soul conscious is actually getting me to the wavelength, to the frequency, to the space where Baba can actually communicate. Yeah. So, and the reason it is so difficult becoming soul conscious is because we are so hooked, attached to this life, to the body, to the drama, to the events, all those things. If something didn't go well yesterday, so that would be pulling you. If something is happening tomorrow, you're anxious about that. Somebody said something, those memories linger around in the mind. Yeah. So all this just says that we are actually hooked, stuck, attached to the events, to the drama, all of these things. So another component is actually drama, right? Jagdish Pai once said, some of you may know this, that in order to remember Baba, we also had to remember drama. Meaning, remembering drama is not that I remember consciously like I remember Baba. Actually, it is understanding the drama, knowing that drama has equal share in our respect for it, love for it, as much as we have for Baba. I don't know if you believe it or not. Baba also says, no, he actually has to move along the rails of the drama. So, if I would understand drama accurately, then remembering Baba is actually easy. I wouldn't say piece of cake because, of course, um, Baba is not physical. Baba is quite subtle and not gross that we are always used to. But relatively speaking, it's easy. Okay. So the next question is that I would like to ask is that this is one kind of track. Most of us are quite involved in seva, yeah, right? I was told that you're listening to the Avik Murli every day. Amazing. I was quite impressed actually. Oh, wow. I can't do this because we're so consumed by many things there. Hard to find time, but it's wonderful and inspirational actually that you're able to do this. And so I'm sure this involves background work and things, and plus center and other things. So in general, many BKs are quite involved in seva. So my question to you is, according to today's time, based on what you're seeing in the world, what do you think is the best service for people? What do you think is the best service for people?
Om Shanti Bhaiji, it's Mansa Seva. Through our vibrations, through our own state of mind, we can do the maximum service, commensurate with the time, the need of the time.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you. Mansa Seva and elevating their vibrations. Okay, that's good if you're able to do that. And Bob also has said that, we need to have such a stage to be able to do Mansa Seva where our mind is absolutely clean, pure, right? To be able to reach the target. If I have any ill feelings towards somebody in my home, in my center, in my circle, then that's almost like a blockage. Yeah, my vibrations are not passing. What else? Okay.
Om Shanti,
Yes.
brother. If you ask me, I think first of all, I'll have to see what I'm doing in my mind to just transform that kind of seva. I would just bring these souls who are close to me or in the family or somewhere, as you said, Amrit Vela, and just emerge them and see what do they need, because I come across people who say, why don't you tell God to do this, why don't you tell God to do this? Sometimes I feel very funny, as if I'm a messenger of God, but because it was given, I just get up, I say, okay, I emerge that soul, and then I say, okay, and I know I can do nothing. I say, see, Baba, the soul had asked me something, just do whatever you can. So I just emerged that soul. I think that kind of just connecting to the energy, I think that much I would love. That's what I feel is needed.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Now that is for the souls whom you know or who knows you. Let's say I would be doing Mansa Seva, but how does someone actually, some XYZ who doesn't even know me, like what's the way actually? How do you get them onto a spiritual path? How do you actually give them something? What's the most easiest for them? May not be for us. What's the most easiest for them to actually, to to be served? What do they need? Just also background a little bit here, right? Like today, people have less attention span. People have less time. Speculation, so many spiritual concepts, so many spiritual paths, so many gurus, yeah, and plus sometimes some of the defamations that are there, and some of the things, disservice that happens in the family, yeah. Considering all of these things, so what do you think? And there is a response here. Best service for me is self-service, self-love, self-care, self-power, self-respect, self-stability, self-charging. Okay, wonderful. Kind of getting close. Yes, somebody was going to say something.
Yeah, Om Shanti. Yeah, here what I have experimented recently is, as Suraj Bhaiji also speaks during his sessions, that consider yourself as a Ishtadev and Ishtadevi, and like a worthy of worship soul, and who is so when I go to office, I consider my organization, every soul to be that who are not in Gyan are worshippers of my state of mind, and I am their Ishtadevi, and I am giving them that blessings and power to connect with the God. That is one, wherever I go, I consider myself as a Ishtadevi. Om Shanti.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
What I do is, okay, go ahead, sister.
Brother, oh yeah, please go on.
No, I said what I try and do is that I see myself as a soul connecting to Baba's Supreme Soul, and then I see everybody else's soul. Actually, it's like soul consciousness, not for myself. It's soul consciousness for the universe. They're only souls, and there's only Baba's light, and everybody's happy, glowing, pure, and those vibrations are spreading on everyone, including
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What I do, brother, physically, I've just started it. I carry these blessing cards wherever I go. And what I do sometimes, and I love it, I make it like a magic. I said, okay, close here. Somebody on the road, I just met somebody in the vegetable store, and I saw her arguing something about grapes. I said, wow, yeah, right. I said, see, I want to give you something. And I just gave her a cut. She was so blessed. I don't know. I find that just a blessing card, and something was written in it. She said, "Yeah, this is what really I am."
Right.
It's just something trying.
That's very nice. That's something that we all try as blessing cards are really magic cards. They really do wonders. So getting close. So I want to just had one come and thank you. This is wonderful. I'm learning so much from all of you. The being soul conscious, mansa seva, sending vibrations is today. That's effort from our side, right? Again, if a soul is weak, as I described the condition of majority today, like it may not be as easy for them to pursue those things. It's a blessing card is kind of close. What are we finally giving them in that? So I just want to respond now, considering the time. This was the Murli, and this topic is actually from this Murli only. This was the Murli back in December. And Baba was saying in the Murli that what people need actually now is they want to see your happy face, your happiness. And from that state of happiness, doing any of the things that you mentioned, all of you mentioned. If I am not happy, if my face is not reflecting that happiness, then it's not easy for them to actually grasp. Spirituality seems to be very high, too high for them. They would say, no, not for me. I can't do it. Too much, too difficult for me. I can't focus. I don't have time. But if we as practitioners of spirituality, we as Baba's children, if we're able to maintain our state of happiness, then they notice, what is it you have that I don't have? How come you are happy? What's your secret? They want to know. And not just one day, right? This is something that they have to consistently see in us. It could be people who, where you fill your petrol, whom you kind of see. You may not know them, but you are happy with them. And the people who are, regularly interacting with you or may not be those regularly interacting. Anybody. Bottom line is that it should reflect on our face and in our behavior that we are happy. And I'm speaking from my own personal experience, and this is actually my project. My project is to be happy. It's not easy. I can't fake it, right? I can't just fake it. Yes, people may say, fake it until you make it. But people can see that you're faking. We have to be truly genuine. Yes, I may say I have found God. I may say I'm practicing all those things, but it's not easy for them to grasp all those things. They may say, okay, that's your path. But to bridge the gap that, yes, I can do, I want to know what you have. They have to see the end result of our efforts, not the initial hard work that we are doing. They want to be able to see the end result, right? Today, all the successful leaders, right? How do we get to know them? Not when they were doing all their hard work. We get to know them, okay, they have become richest in the world, billionaires, top, leaders. Once they have reached the stage, then we'll, oh, wow, Amazon CEO, Twitter, X, all of these people, right? So we get to know what they have they see their end results, whether their product or their wealth or many different things. So for us, it is actually our end result is actually happiness. I mean, it may not be the end result, that may not be the right word to say, but you get what I'm saying. That's the state that we want to be in, happiness. If my spiritual efforts are not reflecting that, then what they see is struggle. They won't see the attainments. And so the happiness comes from our attainments. So if I have to be happy, which is a project, which is kind of a destination, which is my journey, right? All of these different things that we want to use. Then also it's important to understand, like for example, you all did just Amritwala. Now I'm sure you're all happy, because one of the ways to experience happiness is, yes, I had a very blissful meditation. I heard the Murli, somebody gave me love, the soul is happy. But to sustain it is a challenge. Anything, creation is easy. To make a BK is easy, to give the knowledge is easy. But to sustain them, just like for a parent, okay, child is born, easy. 1 year's job for the mother to bear, and then, for the baby to come out. But then sustaining whole life, right? So in the same way for us also, we are happy, of course, when we do surveys, when we interact with people, yoga, knowledge, class, happy, we're good. But then to sustain it is what is the key. Yes, constant happiness is the visible trait that others are able to notice and experience from us. Very nice. So to be able to actually always stay happy is this concept that is important, which is to be a detached observer. Dali Janki used to say, let the boat be in the water, but let the water not be in the boat. You got that? Let the boat be in the water, let it sail in the water. But the water should not be in the boat. What happens? If the water starts coming in the boat, then the boat will sink. So in the same way, let the things that are happening out there, we know this is Kali Yuga, we know this is, so on the one hand, we know we are in the confluence age, but we are actually interacting with the people in the Iron Age. And secondly, we know that we are in a beautiful spiritual family, and at the same time, everybody is becoming perfect. Nobody is perfect yet. We are work in progress, VIP, WIP. And so, we know this, that's a reality. And thirdly, we also know that each one of us are settling our own karmas of the past in a beautiful way while having this knowledge. So knowing all of these things, I do have to learn to be a detached observer. Yeah. Now, just to be detached observer could be very hard. Even Buddhism speaks about it. Just be an observer. Just be conscious, just be present, just be aware of what's happening. But especially when you're going through difficult times, it's not easy, right? The water is already inside the boat. That's going to affect you, influence you. So along with being a detached observer, I do have to have the companionship of Baba, of God. And so in this Murli that I referred to earlier, Baba was talking about just sit on the seat of being a detached observer. And for me, in my own language, the way I would understand that is sit on a roller coaster ride, right? Sit on the seat that is going on a roller coaster. I mean, you're on a roller coaster ride. So whatever is happening is like a roller coaster. That's life, right? So many things happen, but It's a roller coaster. You enjoy. It's fun. And who is sitting next to you in the roller coaster? Baba. So you both are actually on the roller coaster. Baba doesn't feel, but you feel it. Baba is bodiless, and you feel it because you have the body. So whatever is happening around me, right? So detached observer in different ways. One is there are things happening out there in the world, right? It could be what's happening in the Middle East today, very, very influential on our mind. Could be, right, very bad. What's happening in Russia, Ukraine, what's been happening for some time already now, or even in here, racial discrimination and so many different things. So something may not be personal to me, but there are things out there that could actually influence me. And then what is happening between me and other person, could be in the work office, could be in the Brahmin family, yeah, it could be Laukik family, and or what could be happening within my own self, right? I'm struggling with something, or the things of my own past. So detached observer is actually to come out of all of these things and to really observe, see as a movie or as a game. And this is the heart of the effort, that to separate yourself, to actually be that observer of even what's going on within you, right? And right, any of those things, if I'm being influenced, if I'm being affected, if I'm struggling, it all indicates to us that, okay, this is some karma that is coming back to me. I'm settling. When karma comes back to us, when we have to settle things, it just happens like this. There won't be any logical, there won't be any meaningful thing why it happened. I mean, you may find out why it happened, but when it happens, it just happens like that, right? It could be that I missed a flight. I was supposed to get there and I missed the flight. Or I was supposed to come to a program, I just fell sick. I was supposed to, do something and, something happened. And you would not find any, you would have taken care of everything, but things just happen like that. Karma comes back to us. And so if I'm not on the rails of the drama, if I'm not actually a detached observer of whatever is happening, I would fail. And that's what takes our happiness away, right? That takes our happiness away, and I'll be sad, or I'll be having waste thoughts. And Baba has spoken about waste thoughts so many times, and even recent Avik Murlis, that live from Madhuban, the revisions, so many of them, like become free from waste thoughts. Could be about other Brahmins, could be about yourself, your own self, could be about the past. So, we do have to come to terms with things when they happen to us. I was actually in Madhuban last year, and I had, after COVID, I had come, 2022, I had come. And so I was fine, and I didn't have COVID from the time in 2020. I was actually here just before the lockdown. I just escaped and went back just before the lockdown. No mask, flew back to the US, and we were there, went through all the phases of COVID, no problem, everything fine. Came back to India, 2022. There are not a lot of people, fine. Went back to US, everything was fine. Again, came back in 23 beginning, and had got a good, group of people from Boston, and we all had a great time. And I was supposed to attend the NCCC Teachers Retreat the following day. Just a bit the day before, I tested positive and I fell sick, right? And so, like, okay, I came here all the way to be part of this wonderful gathering, and now I can't go. Um, I mean, we had our own kind of quote unquote policy that, okay, well, if you are sick, then you quarantine. Some people don't do that, but that's the thing that we always follow. So I was just in the room. I was in Madhuban, but I was inside the room the whole time, pretty much. I could have felt, all kinds of thoughts. What is this? What did I do? I was wearing mask all the time, by the way. So it just happens, like you can't really have any logical reason, and you can't go back and think who gave me, what happened, all those things. No, that's waste of time. No analysis. Analysis is something all of us educated people sometimes do a lot, and this is Dharjanki's like hammering on us all the time. Don't think too much, don't analyze. That's a big problem actually in the educated people, that we think too much. So acceptance and moving along the rails and being an observer of what's actually happening. So this is observing, and so kind of pulling out of the situation. But what actually makes it easy is companionship with Baba. And if I know Baba is with me, and when I say Baba, company with Baba, I'm not talking about like remembering Baba the way we remember when we sit in yoga. That's different. Yes, I'm becoming soul conscious and remembering Baba. That's different. But here it is truly feeling, God's presence in my life. Truly feeling, Baba is with me. I don't know, Amya, if you feel this, but for me, many times it is this kind of feeling comes to me. And of course, Baba has said this. Baba actually is waiting for me to make a connection with him so that he can give me something. It's almost like a good parent is waiting for his or her son or daughter to call or come home so that they can feed them or take care of them, whatever, right? Sustain them. Our Baba is like that. He's always, you can say, this in our language, right? Baba's language is different. We say waiting, but it may be, how he waits is different story. But in our own language, we can say that Baba is actually waiting to share, give, empower with us. But it is us, we are so busy in our own drama that we forget. And he could be right next to us. Baba says many times that just say my Baba and Baba will become present. What does it mean? You remember him with a heart. You experience his presence. And so, you will be able to feel. And when there is Baba's presence, then no situation is a big deal. Yeah, no. I was a few years ago, before the COVID actually, we renovated and expanded the whole center in Boston. And so it's almost like a 2 years project it was. And probably some of it's not always as per the plan things go, especially construction and so many challenges. But and one thing is challenges from the external, what people who are working with contractors, and then the town, you had to get the permission, all those things. Actually, they were all relatively easy. But at many levels, the challenge was within the family. Why within not that they were bad, of course. It's a beautiful family. I'm so happy that I have a wonderful family there, big family. It's not about that. It's not about them. It's actually the sanskars or the desires or the interests of everybody, how things should be. My way, this is how it should be, that's how it should be. And so, and that's what actually brings a lot of obstacles in our progress. It could be anything, in fact, not just construction, anything. You all could be doing the project together, and then difference of opinion and all those things, they are the ones that create a lot of heaviness in the mind. So, but for me, it was very clear that it's not about what I want. It's not about, my idea, but it's actually, very clear that this is Baba's project, right? And that it's a companionship between me and him, and that we're doing. So there is no question that I can proudly say of taking any sorrow or feeling hurt or demotivated during the whole process. And in fact, the beautiful experience was that, a lot of lightness. That can only happen if I have such relationship with Baba and made him part of my project. This comes from, one of the book messages that the Didi had shared, Mohini Didi. And it's really a wonderful thing for me. It has always helped me. In the book message, Baba was sharing this, this thing of balance. Who is the master and who is a child? So the question is, like, when you are the master and child, or in other words, let's say, when is that you are the master and Baba is your helper? And when is it that Baba is the master and you are his helper? Yeah. So when it comes to self-service, when it comes to, self-mastery, when it comes to managing myself, my efforts, anything to do with me, my efforts, my state, my yoga, my study, all of those things, I'm the master. I own it. It's my responsibility. And Baba is my helper. Baba is my helper. Right? And he says that's why, like, I'm here to help you. You take the step of courage, I'm here to help you. But when it comes to seva, service, it's so big. It's a world service. What we do is just really 1 straw, 1 ounce. Baba is a master. It's his service. He is getting in there. He can touch so many intellects and he can do many things. All I am is doing is I'm his helper. Yeah, I'm his helper. So if this equation is right, right, then anything we do, surveys, happens, doesn't happen, then you are not responsible. You can be so light. We don't feel, not to feel, oh, it was a failure, didn't go well, or I feel bad. No, like, none of those thoughts can come into your mind, because it's Baba's service. I'm just an instrument, his hand. It has to be like this from the starting after doing, when you do the service. This will actually put us in the right space, the right equation. So I take charge of the things that I have to control, I have to manage, I have to be responsible for. And then Baba takes charge of what he's responsible, then he'll get it done. Even if I have this correct in my mind, if I'm a trustee, if I'm doing the way this equation goes, then Baba makes things happen, because he's the, alignment. So making Baba my companion in this way is the way for me to actually observe everything that is happening and not be affected. So boatman is Baba, I'm in the boat, I know Baba is with me, so enjoying the boat ride. And as long as I'm observing, I make sure there is no water coming inside. It's just having fun, only fun. And when you are like that, then you're happy. And that's what people notice in you. All situations, good times, bad times, your face is peaceful. Happy doesn't mean, like you're, laughing, all those things. Like it shows on your face, very calm, you know, very peaceful, cheerful, you're in the right spirit. So people notice this, and that is what is a straw in the, flood for them, that they can hang on to you. They can actually believe you are deeply spiritual and that you have something that they don't have. So I feel all Baba's children can do this. And I personally feel it. This is the true service. Because I could be yogi for 32 years and I could be wonderful, amazing, seva in abroad, doing a lot of corporate seva could be, or I could have established many BK centers, so on and so forth. I could be giving a wonderful lecture, all those things. But bottom line, if my everyday, day-to-day interactions, if my life is not of happiness, it's not real. Yeah, we could say it's a journey, it's an effort. True, but I had to kind of get this right, that I have to, the attainments have to be revealed on my face in my life. Yeah. So if I want to be happy, if that's what the service that's going to self-service, you're happy, of course, there is nothing more to it, right? Like you have attained things, so that's why you're happy. And that's what is going to help other people to take further steps. Of course, once they see you're happy, then you serve them mansa seva, because they have made that connection with you, then that's going to help them. Because when you serve, then they do get the vibrations and they know where the vibrations are coming and they can connect with you, and it motivates them, and that makes them move forward. Then they can take the course, or if they already are BKs, then they can actually make progress. Then it's a happy path, and people are moving forward. But for that, this concept of making Baba your companion and observing everything without being affected by the things that are happening. Okay, so I'm going to pause there, and sorry I couldn't see all the things that were going on in the chat, but perhaps I would like to, maybe you have some comments or different way of thinking about it. Absolutely, totally fine. Doesn't have to be exactly like this, or a question or a comment, but I'm open to it. Please feel free.
Shanti, brother, I had a small question.
Ji.
Very nicely, you brought out the being happy. What if I'm actually happy from inside? I'm talking not just myself, I'm talking in general for everyone. You're happy from within, but because of the day-to-day life challenges, and because you have to get work done out of other people, or you have some duties to accomplish, on the surface, you may not be always appearing to be 100% divine, happy, smiling, but internally you are. And you are in that moment of where, you are watching everything as a detached observer, allowing things to happen, because sometimes when you're always smiling and you're always happy externally, I know it shows up internally as well. People also don't listen to you as quickly as they would if you just have, this has to be done now. There's no time. I'm talking of day-to-day worldly affairs. Would you differentiate between being truly eternally happy from inside and the presentation that comes across as being happy?
Sure. So happiness, again, does not have to be that I'm like, putting on a smile always. It's in our interactions that people see. But I do want to say that we all have heard this phrase, face is the index of the mind, right? So my internal happiness has to reflect on my face. The happiness here is the feeling of the attainments that you have inside. Like for example, I live in a center, and I live with two other people, three of us, two sisters and myself. They're from there, from abroad. And there are, we're a team of 16 people who work day in and day out. Obviously, there are, many things to get done and different sorts of sanskars. And yes, there are times that I'm not definitely reflecting that on my face. But what's important is that, are they seeing that I'm coming from the place of that positive energy from inside, good feelings from inside, and that's what they'll be able to catch. May not be the actual final result of being cheerful. And my eyes, and like eyes are the big mirror for our happiness, that the twinkle in the eyes, that purity in the eyes, which people perceive as that happiness that you see in the child. So that you can't hide. It'll be revealed. So, and this is what it is for BKs. And it's a beautiful question what you're asking, because that's what it is. Like, I'm happy inside, I'm this, but people can't see. No, inside out, I had to be saying. That's an effort, not a struggle. That's an effort. How can I be actually sane? This doesn't mean to say you're not going to follow the rules. This doesn't mean to say you're going to just let people do what they want. No, I'm not saying any of those things. Job is job, work is work, rules are rules, timetable, all of those things, of course. In an organization means we follow all of those things. But from what state, from what personality? So I think that's important.
Thank you, brother.
Sure.
Anyone else would like to ask a question? Yeah, sister, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I really wanted to know, why should I be detached? When should I be detached? How should I be detached? But you came to the result of it happens. What I feel like, we are, as somebody rightly said, we are so much trapped in the cycle of craving and aversion and pleasure and pain. Detachment allows us, let me see, it's detachment means not completely cutting myself out. When I cut myself out and stay there, I'm going to fall. So that's why Baba gave the second one, holding. That is what is sati. So if I detach myself from that pain and hold on to the companion, then it gives me an inner peace and happiness. And that inner peace and happiness is independent of the external circumstance. That is what I generally take it to, the hardcore of detachment and happiness. In that, it helps me to find joy rather than the outcome of. That's what I feel when I cut myself off from something which is painful, but just for a moment to understand it better. Not that I say, oh, that is cancer, let me go. No, I want to understand why that is there. That's why I said, why detachment? And then when I go out, I need a support. So I hold on to the hand of the Lord, that is Sati. And then I understand, I find a kind of inner peace, accepting all these cycles of thing and all. And then I'm able to really have that job. That for me, I feel is detachment with happiness. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister. Yes, that's why we don't say here detachment, right? We say detached observer. That's the whole sentence, because people generally say, okay, practice detachment. That means they are pulling off, they are running away, kind of quote unquote don't care. But for us, it's being detached, but being there, observing what actually is happening. So, and it's a different concept for us, right? For BKs, what Baba has taught us, because we know we can't run away. Where are we going to run away? When we're going to run away, it's going to come behind us. Today it could be from this person, tomorrow it could be somebody else, today this situation, tomorrow some other, because it's all within us, all the sanskars that we have formed. And so there is no kind of escape here. So I do have to deal with it. And so how I'm going to deal with it is making Baba as my companion.
So one quick question regarding, since we are talking about this detached observer, so how do you suggest the DPS to practice this, kind of sanskar to make within ourselves firm that be a detached observer?
Sure, it's a good question. And I wanted to say earlier, it didn't come out, is that in general, a human tendency, or more for us, those who are, let's say, good people, okay? Our general tendency is to help everybody, to get involved, to save, in a good sense. This is a sanskar that we have developed. But sometimes actually, our help may not be a true help. Sometimes, getting involved in the matters of others, or in the drama life situations of others, may not be necessarily, what we have to do. Once Dadi was in Pune, and the neighbors, husband and wife, they're always fighting. And so one day, I think the husband hit the wife, and it became a police case. And the police came, and so of course they start asking all the neighbors what happened. And so they asked Dadi, did you see them fighting? What did Dadi say? Dadi said no. She was seeing, but she said no. And then she went to, when next time when she went to Madhuban, she explained to Baba, and Baba said, child, you did well. Now the question is, did she lie? No, this is what sometimes we get stuck in, that we involve ourselves thinking something, and that we want to help, we want to say all those things. No, what's our path, what's our business? Not in getting involved in the karmas of other people, but actually just be that, okay, be detached. And yes, what's happening, but yes, you do other kinds of seva there to help them. So the way to practice is, many times, a lot of beautiful situations every single day we notice. We notice people doing certain ways, we notice things happening with us, but take those moments during the day as happiness, to not react to what's happening, but see them as a game, and talk to Baba. Baba, look, this is very fun. Look how things are happening. Um, enjoy yourself. So if you kind of change the mode of it, considering it as, okay, this is something fun that is happening now. And it's not going to be easy, right? To just change the consciousness like this, but it works if you pay attention. Then you will see, how it's going to actually make a difference in your efforts. So every day there are going to be different things that will happen to all of us. Life is full of experiences. Every day there will be something that you will see that is almost like a water coming in the boat. take that as an opportunity to test yourself, to be not affected, influenced, to observe that and not react, may not be able to respond, because your response is silence, your response is just observing, but not dry response, not dry observing, with Baba, remembrance of Baba, knowing that Baba is with you. So yes, play with it, right?
Brother, I know time is over, but
I
just
know.
one point I wanted to add.
Mhm.
I always wonder, how does God sit over there and see only good in us?
Beautiful, yeah.
25,000 people are sitting over there in that thing, and he finds everyone has crown on the head. Everyone has that. How does he do it? So I understood he has detached himself. He's observing everything. At the end of the day, we are his children.
Yeah,
I think
beautiful.
supreme
Yeah.
example of detachment.
Yeah, it is very beautiful. And, loving and detached, right? And this is why Baba is Baba, that he's only able to help us. He's only able to, in fact, love us. And this is my own personal feeling, because he's detached. If you're attached to us, oh, my children, my creation, my drama, Baba wouldn't be able to help us. So he's actually, in Avik Murlis that you hear, many times you hear this, right? Baba is amused. Baba was smiling. Should Baba tell you what he saw in the children? So he's not upset up there. He's actually smiling. He's actually, he's actually having fun. Both of them, Shiv Baba and Brahma, they're having fun watching us here. So absolutely, they are actually perfect examples, detached observers. And so we just have to follow their path. All right, I know the time is up. So Sister Harpreet, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Dave. That was a really nice session and made us all put our thinking caps on to see whether we are actually internally happy and also expressing ourselves as happy people to do a good seva. But I can see that there's one question from Balwinder Kaurji. You have raised your hand. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, Om Shanti, Didiji and Baiji and Divine Family. Do you have a couple of seconds?
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
I just wanted to share my COVID experience as Baiji shared his COVID experience when he was in Madhuban. What happened is in the last month, I registered for 10 days silent retreat. But I was concerned how I'm going to get time because I am responsible for everything else. And before, a couple of days prior to silent retreat, I got COVID. I felt extremely happy inside. Wow, this is the best way for me to attend silent retreat. That's the time I use to learn as well as to do silent communication, self to self, self to Baba, self to mind, self to intellect, self to my five senses, going through self reflection, self journaling, self creativity, writing poems, writing songs. I did whatever I wanted to do first time during my life. I felt like being living in 5-star hotel. Why? Because you didn't have to cook. My family was cooking for me. And they were asking me, why don't you test? Might be COVID is gone. I said, no, it's not. It's still here. So at the end of silent retreat, my COVID was gone. And I was feeling so happy internally, so content that that was the best opportunity for me to be with Baba. And it is possible only if we have this gyan. Without gyan, it is extremely difficult when we are trapped either in prison or in isolation or due to COVID. Otherwise, those waste thought, those negative thinking, they will continue dancing within our consciousness. And second, it reminded me when you share roller coaster ride, it reminded me how I understand detached observer, the meaning, and how I practice in my life. I usually convert it into song. For example, soul in the body goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Soul in the body goes round and round, round and round forever. Soul in the body goes up, soul in the body fly to the sky. Me and Baba are together, two star together are watching drama and roller coaster ride every day, every moment. Two star, me and Baba always together, watching this drama, watching this roller coaster ride every day, every second. This is for me self reminder when I get stuck in a problem, then how to become detached. So I give reminder to myself, hey, go and sing that song in my mind. So that helps me. Thank you, Ji, for giving me time.
Thank you, sister. And after that little song that sister has sung, Brother Dave, would you like to have some final comments and some guidance for all of us?
No, thank you. So it's wonderful to be able to.
Brother, a quick 1-minute meditation.
Yeah. So thank you for this opportunity, and let's aim to reveal Baba through our happy and embodiment of happiness with all the attainments. Make Baba as companion and play. Life is a game. Om Shanti. So let's take 1 minute, withdrawing from everything around and coming to the awareness. I am a soul, an actor in this drama of life. Seated in the center of the forehead, and on the seat of a detached observer. I observe everything through my mind's eye. And I'm aware Baba is by my side. In Baba's presence, I feel so safe and secure that I'm not alone. Almighty Baba is with me. And His presence enables me to see everything without being affected by it. I realize happiness is my innate nature. I naturally have it. I just had to protect it and be it. Baba's light, Baba's vibrations fill the soul, empower the soul to be that actor, a hero actor. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Divine Family. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, everyone. Om Shanti.